Remember our cross-country trip last year? That colossal storm ripped through and our tent blew away. I remember shivering as we toweled off. I never would have asked to get caught in that storm, but I'm sure glad we did.
Hi, I'm Carly Krouse of the Indiana Gazette, and we're back for another week of our high school football preview. This week, we're reporting from outside of Memorial Field in Homer City, where Homer Center will play host to Penn's Manor on Friday night. After the first 2 weeks of the season, the Comets and the Wildcats are both 1-1 and are looking to prove themselves in the Heritage Conference. Penn's Manor scored a big win in Week 0, but is coming off a loss last week, while Homer Center scored a big win last week after coming off a big loss in its opener. In a matchup of 2-0 teams, Northern Cambria travels to West Shamokin for a showdown between the area's top rushing offense and top rushing defense through the first 2 games. The Colts are averaging 385.5 rushing yards per game, while the Wolves have allowed just 73.5. Northern Cambria is currently atop the District 6 Class A rankings, and the matchup with AA West Shamokin could prove to be a big one later in the season in the district and the conference. Blairsville plays at rival Salzburg looking for its first win. Both teams lost by large margins last week and are hoping to get back on track. The Trojans are 1-1 and hope to top their win total from last season in just the 3rd week of this campaign. Purchase Line welcomes Marion Center in a matchup of teams that are winless but have both shown promise. The Red Dragons will try to cut out some of the mistakes as they are last in the conference with a -3 turnover margin. The Stingers will try to build on last week's performance in which they gave West Shamokin a scare with 2 special teams touchdowns. In the other Heritage Conference game, unbeaten Ligonier Valley travels to 1-1 United. Both teams are coming off big wins, but the state-ranked Rams and 2-time defending conference champs have been ruthless so far, outscoring their opponents 104-8. In the WPIAL, Indiana hits the road for the first time under coach Brandon Overdorf when it visits Big 8 conference foe Ringgold in the Rams' debut game on their new turf field. With senior quarterback Luke Thomas back under center after sitting out last week, the Indians will aim for their first victory against another winless team that has been outscored 110-0 through 2 games. Apollo Ridge looks to stay on the winning track after shutting out Summit Academy last week for its first victory. The Vikings take on Carlinton this week in a WPIAL non-conference game. The Cougars are coming off a double overtime loss to Fort Cherry, their 14th loss in their past 15 games.